All right, here we go, guys. Good evening. It's time and place for a city commission meeting here in South Dakota, May 10th, 2021. Call to order, please. Roll call, please.
Smith.
Here.
Reinhardt.
Here.
Wright.
Here.
Robish.
Present.
Mayor Harrington.
Here. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda approval. Has anybody got, I have one amendment to the agenda. Does anybody else have another one? Any amendments? We have one. We're going to add recommending for hiring for Dana Huger at the Berlin Creek Pro Shop. So that'll be added onto our agenda tonight. I need a motion to approve that, please.
Move to approve the agenda with the addition.
Second.
Moved and approved. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Reinhardt.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Public forum. Public comments may be sent during a live meeting broadcast on the city's YouTube channel. The link is listed on the city website at www.hursd.com/citygovernment. In order to use the YouTube chat feature, please create an account with YouTube and Gmail and use your existing accounts. Please state your name and address for the record. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. And just a reminder for the city commissioners, pull your mics up so we can hear it. Our IT person said this, that sometimes our voices don't follow. So, does anybody have anything for public forum tonight? We do have our HR director here tonight, Nathan Hofer. He is back there sitting on the computer waiting for any questions you may have that we would answer. We would stop the meeting and answer your questions to the best of our ability. Seeing none, we'll move on. Consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. 4.1, minutes of the May 3rd, 2021 meeting. 4.2, fuel quotes for city departments. 4.3, set May 24th as a public hearing date for the annual malt, beverage, and South Dakota farm wine license renewals. 4.4, raffle Huron Country Club at the club. 4.5, fireworks public display permit by Mike Hofer for July 31st at the fairgrounds. 4.6, special event on sale alcoholic beverages license filed by Red Arrow Bar for a class reunion on June 11th at the Central Park Boys Shelter with a designated alternative location in case of inclement weather. 4.7, proclamations. National Police Week, 9/5, and Peace Officers Memorial Day, May 15th. National Nurses Week, May 6th through the 12th, and Hospital Week, May 9th through the 15th. At this time, I'm going to read the proclamation for the police that I have here. The other proclamations must have been sent out to those two entities, but I have this one, and I'm going to read it today to the best of my ability. Whereas the Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15th as the Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week, and whereas the members of the Huron Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the residents of Huron, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties and responsibilities hazards, and sacrifices that their law enforcement agency and their members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas the men and women of the Huron Police Department increasingly unceasingly provide a vital public service, and whereas 3 Huron police officers have been made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty protecting the citizens of Huron, specifically offered Clifford A. Hawley, who was shot to death September 7, 1909, Deputy Chief Virgil Lawrence Deo, who was shot to death on November 29, 1966, and Sergeant Thomas Lloyd Callies, who was stabbed to death on March 30, 1982. Now therefore be it resolved that Gary Harrington, Mayor of the City of Huron, South Dakota, call upon all citizens of Huron and upon all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of 9/15/2021 as Police Week, with appropriate ceremonies and observances in which all of our people may join in commemorating law enforcement orders, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to our community, and in doing so have established for themselves an enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. Further, I call upon the citizens of the city of South Dakota to observe May 15, 2021 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who have, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their communities and have been disabled in the performance of duty. And let us recognize and pay respect to all survivors of our fallen heroes. And with that, I would call Police Chief Kevin to come up, and I'll present this to you, Kevin. And thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Do you want a picture?
Tell them all that. We can ask you how to look better.
No, not really.
Tell them all we appreciate it too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir?
Cover that face up.
All right, to resume. 4.8 on our system tonight is recommend hiring Les Hewitt for street maintenance position 1. Recommend hiring Justin Weiss for seasonal street position. Recommend hiring Allison King for a summer reading program for library. Recommend hiring Chrissy Christensen for Memorial Golf Course attendant. Recommend hiring for summer help for the Park and Recreational Department. And with an amendment to our agenda tonight, we put on this, we recommend hiring Dana Huber to Broadland Creek Pro Shop for $10 an hour effective 5/11/2021. 4.9 is payment of the bills. With that, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. So moved by Commissioner Weinrich, second by Commissioner Robish. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Gray.
Aye.
Rovers.
Aye.
Mayor Henderson.
Aye. Okay. Bid quotes and items number 5. Dennis, would you, Assistant Engineer, come up to explain what we got going on in these 2 items, please?
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. First one we got on here is a pay request from Asphalt Paving. It's just a progress payment for the asphalt work being done this spring. They anticipate being done tomorrow with the spring paving, so recommend approval.
Motion to approve, please.
Move to
approve.
Commissioner
Second.
Robish. Motion approved, second by Commissioner Smith. Any questions for Dennis on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Gray.
Aye.
Rovers.
Aye.
Mayor Henderson.
Aye. 6.2, Dennis.
Thank you. This is for the Vantage Park sewer that we're putting in out to like Northwestern Energy's new plant. The bid was 1 million, our estimate was 1,702,000 was the original, and that's what was budgeted. Bid was 1,151,452.45, and that does not include about $140,000 of pipe the city has procured. We anticipate coming in under budget, so recommend approval.
Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Mr. Bragg, motion approved. Second, please.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Weinrich. Okay. Any discussion?
If I could,
Yes.
just a quick comment on this. I wanted to give a kudos to the engineering team, Brett and Dennis. At this time, with all the shortages of available product, the pipe to do this, we'd have been in real trouble, because if they would have bid this out traditional,
Correct.
nobody would have been able to get it, and we'd have come in well over budget. And thanks to some hard work from these guys, they got us on the list, and that's why it's in that way procured separately as opposed to being a part of the bid. But that basically kept us on track for Northwestern's timeline, and is what's going to allow us to come under budget. So I just really want to give these guys a kudos for that, because that saved us big time.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate it, Dennis. Roll call vote.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Goldish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Petitions and communications, our city attorney, Tucker Valesky, 6.1, please.
Thank you, Mayor. 6.1, consider renewing the irrigation contract with Huron Country Club, retroactive to April 1st, and authorize the mayor to sign.
There's a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Smith, motion approved. Second.
Second.
Commissioner Bragg, second. Any discussion on this item?
Mayor, if I may.
Yes. Mr. Smith.
Thank you. Just for the commission's knowledge, we did increase their cost slightly to offset cost of living increase. Other than that, no changes, no material changes to the contract. This is a contract that's been in place for 20 years, as far as I know. So, no material changes other than a slight increase in
Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Goldish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. All right, 6.2.
Thank you, Mayor. 6.2, consider interlocal contract for cooperative purchasing with H-Jack Buy, and authorize the mayor to sign.
Okay, a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved, Commissioner Weinrich, second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Smith. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Goldish. Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Ordinance and resolutions. Tucker Valesky, our city attorney, will explain what
Mayor.
this is.
7.1, consider sunset COVID resolution number 2021-02.
Need a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Do I have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Weinrich, okay. Any discussion?
Do you want a date on that?
Yeah, I was just gonna get to that. What we're gonna do, we're gonna sunset this as of May 24th, which would be the same time that the high school does theirs, and what I understand is the same time that the county will do theirs, so. We just thought that we would all get together. The high school announced it first, and we decided we would follow with the resolution. With the vaccination now widely available in our city, and we are ready to adjust our COVID-19 response. we will continue to monitor conditions, making the best decisions possible with information available. As of today, we had 28 active cases in Butte County. We've also had 6,978 vaccinations. Of those vaccinations, 450 were J&J, which is a one-time vaccination. So we're doing pretty well in vaccinations. It's slowed down a little bit, we've noticed in the last few weeks. We don't know why that is, or the fact that maybe the people that are getting them have gotten all they're going to get. We don't know. We hope that more people keep going and getting them, but at this time, we feel best for this, to sunset this on the 24th. This takes care of all the city employees also, city buildings, takes care of our event center, our bars and restaurants, as far as distancing and stuff. We still encourage people to be proactive as far as this, because it hasn't gone away, but it's greatly reduced from where we were, and I think we should certainly congratulate people of Huron and Butte County for what they've done. I think a strong advocate in this whole deal, and I've always felt this, was our school system. With the kids wanting to get back to school so bad that they would do anything, including wear a mask, that just carried over when they went home. It's kind of like the old son's seatbelt law. You know, Dad, if you had your seatbelt on, Dad, do you have your mask on? So I just felt that kind of promoted and moved our city along, and certainly appreciate the schools and the school system, what they've done. So with that, is there any other questions for this topic?
Mayor, if I may?
Yes.
Maybe, thank you. Maybe just to roll back through this resolution a little bit for the public, as well as, not that we want to remember what we've been up against for the last year and a half. But this resolution was put into place following ordinances that were put into place, and the ordinance continued in place with resolutions being substituted in to craft it a little more to the timing and the environment that we were in. And so the purpose of this resolution is to basically for the city to pull their restrictions for the community and the businesses off from the community, and then leave it up to the people and individuals of, you know, COVID continues, but it really is pulling it back to the or to individual assessment of the locations and making it their decision whether they want to participate in those events and places of business. Businesses, I know businesses around town continue to have placarding at their doors. You know, we'd ask them to respect that, have their patrons respect that as much as they can. But this in effect would, as you say, sunset the ordinance and the resolutions that tagged on after that. So
Any other discussion? Yes, Mr. Gray.
And just to follow up with that, I mean, we have had some folks ask us the criteria that we use to make these decisions, and this was, the title of this one was Steps for Further Reopening, and now we've had time to move beyond, and I think the statistics that you mentioned, Mr. Mayor, are important, and also I think the hospital, you know, we have to really be mindful that we, along the way, this organization has been very open and listened to what HRMC and the local hospital has said, and they are at a point now that they're not in any sort of a danger emergency situation. So I think just based on, just like when they asked us for help, we stepped up and put some things in place. Now they're saying that, you know, the community's at a place where we can lessen some of those, and again, put it back to personal responsibility, like Commissioner Smith said. So just since I've had a few folks ask what our criteria is, I want to be real clear that the local healthcare is the main driver, and they're ready for us to start easing up. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
A short side story. I was in a local business Saturday morning at 7 o'clock, it was kind of misting out, and it was windy blowing, it was cold, and by the time I got halfway through the door, I realized I didn't have my mask. And I thought, well, there's nobody in here, I'll just sneak in here and get my stuff, because I knew what I wanted to get out of here. I walked in there, and I started running into people with masks, and so I started counting. And there was 10 to 12 people in this building that had masks on. I looked around, I was the only one that didn't have a mask on. I'll tell you what, if I could have crawled out that door, I would have crawled out that door. I felt so bad about it, but we'll move on from that episode too. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Conrad.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Rhoda.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay, departmental items. 8.1, consider authorizing Park and Recreation Director to apply for West Nile virus prevention funding and sign all documents. Have a motion to approve on this?
Move to approve the signing.
Okay, Commissioner Robish moved to approve. Need a second.
Second.
Three of them. I got 3 seconds here. I'm going to pick Commissioner Weiners. He's the newest guy here. Any discussion on this topic? This is the top, we get this every year. Our Park and Rec person puts in for it every year. And it certainly helps with our mosquito prevention in the summer that we all certainly enjoy. So with that, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Conrad.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Rhoda.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Thank you. 8.2. Last week, you had a great disservice here. We were appointing officers for the 2021. And we got done appointing all the officers, and it was brought to my attention that the very next day, early the next day, that we missed one person. And the person even was getting close to his year of being with us. So I felt real bad about it. And so with this week, we are going to appoint our Human Resource Manager, Nathan Hofer, to his appointment for another year. So we certainly appreciate having Nathan on board, Nathan, and we certainly appreciate your patience with us on this item. Thank you so much.
I'll take my phone off mute now.
So with that, if there's nothing else,
We need
this,
a motion and a roll call.
oh, we got a motion.
Trying to get me out again.
Yeah. That was not like that.
Move
I
to
didn't-
approve the reappointment of Nathan Hofer for HR manager.
All right, need a second on that? No, we need a roll call vote on
We need a
that.
second.
Second, okay.
Okay.
Now we need a roll call vote.
Smith.
Aye.
Conrad.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Rhoda.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. So with that, anything else for the good of the nature? Thanks, people.